Well, 10 minutes late. Maybe there's no premier. Maybe we'll start this interview before him. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's too busy with other media. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Just ask question. And so, tell me more about your political life. How do you get involved in politics? Yeah, no answer. Oh, here he comes. Ah, here he comes. I was going to start this interview without you.
Were you really?
Yeah. My God, how you doing?
I'm doing. Can I shake hands?
There, you're doing good. Okay, you passed the test.
First test,
Yeah,
wasn't it,
that's
Charles?
good. That's good. Have
Oh,
a
yeah,
seat.
I do. You
Yeah,
were
have a
sneaky
seat.
lad.
Have a seat. That's good.
Oh, there we go. You wanted to.
Oh, look at that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a present. That's good.
There you go. See, well, last time you gave me chocolate milk, I remember.
I have no chocolate milk for you,
That's
sir.
okay.
I'm sorry. It's okay.
No worries. No. I'm cutting back.
No, you are. So how
Yeah.
you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How's your health?
My health's good. How's yours?
Fine.
Perfect.
Listen, my 10 viewers here.
Pardon? Yes?
My 10 viewers.
Oh, it's not by now, sure.
Oh, a little bit, maybe 15. They want to know, how did you get involved in politics?
Good question. We must have talked about that before, but in any case,
Now, if you did
it was 10 years ago.
Now, if you did for 1 second, I was going to let you take 5 minutes to answer
I would
that
like to talk
question.
about his-
I don't
No,
think
it's a
so.
young
No.
child,
No.
Charles.
That's not
I
going to
remember
work.
at the age of 6.
Yeah, yeah. They go on and on. Oh, Charles, we have to
Time
go.
is
Nice
up.
to meet you. Yeah, no. You wish it would have been. Oh, let me tell you. How's your health?
Fine.
When's the last time you went to a doctor?
Oh, probably, I don't know, a year ago anyway.
You serious?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
time for medical.
Well, I suppose I should have a checkup, but...
My sister's a family doctor, not me, but I can see the signs.
Can you see the signs? What are the signs?
The signs are called stress.
Really?
There's a lot of stress around this province during the crisis.
It's been interesting.
Who cut your hair? You cut your own hair?
No, no, actually, I got back to my I'll call her my hairdresser, my barber, back about 2-3 weeks ago, but I am due for another cut, aren't I? So this hasn't been the COVID cut. I had a cut, but I'm due for another one.
Maybe you should
maybe this weekend.
Maybe you
Saturday.
should dye it too.
No, it's too late for that.
Too late for that. Okay.
Yeah.
When's the last time you seen your mama?
Last weekend.
Were you all dressed up in plastic?
No, not now.
No.
No. When I go up, we met as a family. I mean, for 3 months or however many, I didn't go near. She found it pretty strange, you know. I mean, I'd sit outside and we'd talk through the screen or through the patio door. But as it got warmer, but I didn't go in the house. But on the last week or so, I have.
During the crisis, when you go home to your wife, go home to your wife.
Yeah.
Did you go or did you stay?
I was staying here probably 2, 3, maybe even 4 nights a week, depending what was happening. But I got to the point where I would usually go home midweek, but because she was in St. John at West Memphis and I was here.
It's funny how you were trying to have the cuts in the hospital right before the crisis, and the hospital cut Sussex and Sideville.
I forgot all about those.
Senior. It's called selective memory. And the senior home and all that, the big racket. Did that change your attitude towards seniors and hospital?
No, didn't change my attitude.
No, your attitude will not change.
I've always had the attitude that we needed to do a better job with seniors. And with what I found through this process is that, in fact, when we were able to move about 200 long-term care patients out of a hospital setting that is not designed to give them the care they need at the time they need it, and move them into an appropriate facility, it told me something. Why did it take a pandemic for us to do that? Why couldn't we have done that months and years ago? It just takes a willpower to get it done.
Can healthcare run under a capitalist system? Because under a capitalist system, you got to cut. And can it work?
You don't have to cut. You have to be realistic about what's going to give you the best service and how do you get better all the time. And we're kind of products of our own demise in some ways because we just can't figure out how we can best change to meet what's changing in front of us. Like with the COVID, we figured out we had to change real fast. We could no longer do the same things that we did every day. and we did change.
Mhm.
So then when you think about how can I get better results, so right now, as an example, we're looking at our elective surgeries and saying, okay, how do we get ramped up faster than any other time in the past? How do we do more elective surgeries to get caught up from our loss in the last 2 3 months?
That's where
that's where we're focused right now.
Where did it started that all seniors should be treated like no good? It started about 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
Really? I never had that attitude.
You never, no, no.
Did you have that attitude?
No, I hear stories when I was starting to write letters to the editor, and people approach me, workers, that the seniors weren't treated good. What's the perception that seniors, they did their job, it's all over? Frig them.
Oh, no. I think what has changed is societal in the ways that our employment has been transient now. We had generational families that lived within the proximity of where their parents lived.
Yep.
And we're always able to be part of that.
We used to go to church too.
You know, some of us still do.
Mm-hmm. I saw that last night.
And the idea that if you were in the community, you looked after your parents, and because they had done so much for you. So that family dynamic has shifted because so many people live elsewhere now working. So
the senior home, after this is over, is the federal government, the provincial government across Canada, they're going to really focus?
Well, we were focused on the strategy for whole long-term care before this ever started. I mean, we have smaller homes in the province, which has been I think a real benefit through this crisis, because we didn't have the huge great facilities, that others had to deal with. I mean, Nova Scotia had their big facility, and in Halifax and in Montreal and Quebec, the same situation, or in Ontario and Quebec. But here, I think what we were focused on is more of a transient care model. So you don't need to go into a long-term care facility before you need to actually go there. And we've had a case where, again, when I talk about many kids living or away, sometimes they feel like, well, my mom and dad are really looked after because they're in this long-term care facility. Well, yes, they are, but is that the right time for them and their life?
We'll be working on that.
We are, but our goal is to keep people...
When she start looking at her watch, at the hand signal, like you got to watch the hand signal between.
Our goal is to
two.
keep them out, to be able to keep people in their homes longer.
Oh, you got 30 seconds. What do you got to say? The latest on Campbellton.
Well,
is there going to be a revolution there? Is going to be an inquiry? What's going to happen?
We're working closely with that community on the first front to understand the pandemic and what happened there, and what lessons did we learn. The town, they've done good work working with the authorities there, the local staff levels, and understanding how was protective equipment being worn, what else would be required, because we have lots of equipment.
But they're pissed. They're pissed off.
Well, I don't know why, actually. Do you know why?
I don't know. They're just saying that the way it was done and it was shut down.
It was done. We contained it in that region without it spread. That's exactly what our goal was. To go in where there was any sort of outbreak. Go in, isolate it, contact trace it so we could control it.
And destroy it.
Make it regional, not provincial, so we could then keep the rest of the province moving. And now Campbellton's up and moving because we were able to contain it. I think it went amazingly well. The issue we have to learn from is we had healthcare workers that got impacted through that.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
They're heroes.
They're heroes, absolutely. But how did it happen? Because with all the equipment we have, how can we better protect healthcare workers?
Good.
I think that's what we need to learn most of it.
This is no secret. This is no scandal. Everybody's receiving $2,000 from the federal government.
Yeah.
People that apply, are qualified. There's a lot of people that they're not qualified, and they get the $2,000. You get people on social assistance, they got the $2,000. You get people with disability, you got homeless people, they got $2,000. What's going to happen there? Now, once they go to get their money or whatever, it's a federal issue. But if the provincial government, the provincial justice system is going to take care of that, or they're going to fight to have their money, you know what I mean?
Well, I got to define what I think you mean. So it's a federal government policy. They define the rules, they define who got it and who didn't. So they implement it, and they recently just extended it for another 2 months.
Yeah, and they just give it up because they got no time to screen.
So they gave it up. Well, we're not going to get in the middle of that in terms of saying, well, did you get it and you shouldn't have or not? I don't see us going down that trail.
Social development.
What I'm concerned about is that people have decided, in many cases, and I've heard this from employers, right? They can't get people to come to work because they're getting this extra $2,000 a month. So they're basically saying, well, when this is over, I'll be looking for a job. But we got companies that are starting up now.
No,
And
but
they need employees now.
what about people in social assistance?
Yeah,
And now they got it.
okay.
But
Well,
they're
that's
not
good.
supposed. No, it's good, but will the government go after them?
No, I don't intend to go
You
after
don't. No, not provincial, just federal.
No, it was a federal program. They laid that out, and I don't know how it complements with ours, but it's not on my radar.
So it would be under federal court, maybe.
Well, is there a court issue?
It could be fraud. I know me, if I took $2,000, Your Honor, we must send the public a message that this will not be tolerated. We're looking at least 2-3 years in jail. Me. But
Well, you've always been looking for jail time in one way or another.
Okay. So anyway, listen. This is going to bother me saying this.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
I know this is going to bother me.
All right.
It's too
Don't
bad.
say it then. You shouldn't say things that bother you. Because
It's going to bother me. I wish this was some beer. I never hear one person that said a bad thing about you during this crisis.
well, that's nice to hear. But why does that bother you?
It's scary.
Well, Charles, what I would say to that is that just says what a great team I have working in the system.
Not one person.
Really? Well-
Everybody's praising you like you're God.
Well, no one. I'm not God.
No,
we
okay, well, I'll take that back.
we have a great team that has delivered for the people of this province, and they've done it all over the province. So I'm proud to be part of it, and I think that makes us all feel good when people.
So the minute you could call an election, are you going to call an election?
The minute I could go.
The minute you say, okay, I'm running, he's all right. I'm high up in the poll. Boom! Immediately.
What do you think I should do?
I think, you know what? I think you should go right till the end. You're walking around like you have a minority government, but you're walking around like you've got a majority. The teamwork. You show that. I'm praising you here.
That's bothering you too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
It
I talk positive about you all the
Yeah,
time.
I know. I'm sure you do.
You do.
I'm sure you do. No, but
Yeah.
you proved you could work as a team.
We have, and
It doesn't bother you if you got a majority or not.
No, there's issues that I guess here's the point on a crisis like a health crisis. Everybody came and it worked well, and that's why when we talk about things look good and all that, well a lot of people played a role in that, including the other three leaders, in making this COVID at this stage. Now it could always break out more so, and we saw that exposure in Campbellton. But we worked together, focused on one area. Everything we were doing was to protect citizens' health. So that was a real clear focus. So are we able to do that with other things? I mean, we haven't been able to fix education, for a long time to get better results.
Our future premier, Dominic Carty, will fit. I mean,
Well, we
I'm
haven't,
sorry.
we got healthcare. We've seen, cases and looking at the stats saying, boy, we should get better results out of our system. And you say, well, how is our healthcare system managed? How is our social system better or worse than it was? Are we caring for seniors better or worse than they were? Can we get that same purpose or focus going forward than as we have with COVID? I'm not sure. I don't know.
That's where I'm getting at.
We haven't in the past.
You got it right here. The service, New Brunswick. It was shut down. You had to make an appointment. The Acadians in the North Shore open now 1 day a week. They have to travel from Lamec to go to Miramichi or Bathurst, about an hour and a half, 2 hour ride. Why is Service New Brunswick and Tracadie, and I'm very upset with Liberals MLAs. They're not saying a word. That's another thing, hey, my grandfather voted Liberal, you vote Liberal. I mean, these Acadians, they have to smarten up. Even Robert Gauvin was there, and we know what happened there. Okay, Charlie, you just praise him, he's high up, don't ruin his day. How come Service New Brunswick is only open 1 day a week?
So they have been trying also, because of so many people that would come into this location, they've been trying to develop, and they have been working a new program that doesn't expose so many people coming and going, so you kind of have a spread opportunity of the virus. And they've tried to do more and more online to avoid that. And that's why the appointment only, so they're fixed up. They don't have big lineups in the building or
just like
people
here.
in the building.
Here, everywhere.
Outside, but not, they're everywhere. So it has been an issue, but we are continuing to open up, and that will continue. Over the coming months, we'll see more and more stores continue.
I got a question. You have ADHD? No.
Not that I'm aware of.
No.
Do you?
No. Yeah. Duh. If I didn't have ADHD, this would be brown. I wouldn't be in so much trouble. You act. You speak before thinking. What did I say that for? You mentioned on one of your speech, urban ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean crude oil prices?
Yeah. And now, Where the hell did that come from?
Well, good question. It came from, in my comment, it came from the report in the media that crude oil pricing for Western crude had gone negative.
Yeah, no.
And so that was where it came from for me, is that it actually, and I thought, wow, I worked for the company for 30 years, and I don't think we ever had crude oil price negative.
Yeah.
So there's where it came from, and so that was my comment, is that this is unprecedented that we'd ever see negative oil prices.
Shouldn't they take that money and give it to the city of St. John, help them pay their debts or whatever, you know?
You should be interviewing them about that.
What?
You should interview them about that.
You think Arthur Irving? No, I like Ken. We already had this conversation. I wish Arthur Irving would sit down before he croaks, or me before I croak. Sorry, we don't wish that on nobody. Okay, now, ever since this crisis, you with the media, you've been did you buy more suits or?
No, actually, I'm wearing them more often.
Yeah, how many suits? How many did you buy more? More neckties, more shirts? I think
the last new suit I bought was probably before COVID, around January.
Okay. So what are you going to do if we have it, the state of the province address?
Well, we won't be filling the room with people, that's true. If we, at this point in time, of course that's next year, and being in a minority government, who knows what next year brings. I know,
you'll be there for a long time.
But if we don't have a vaccine, we would have to set up something that would have a whole lot less people. We are allowing gatherings, as you know, with other areas now, but it has to be following the public health rules.
What are you going to do?
It wouldn't change for us.
But you are an Irving soldier. I mean, an Irving employee. Your brother. I know I can't stop myself.
You can't resist.
Yeah, no, I can't. I got to jive once in a while.
You know, I feel good about working for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's good. It's good. But if you, by the way, am I being taped? That's good. Am I being taped?
Well, I am. So why shouldn't you be?
I'm being taped. They should tell you first before being taped. I'll show you. There's no editing here.
That you knew.
No, I didn't know.
Everybody's taped.
I was focusing on him. I didn't know that. I've been taped by communication for a long time. When you turn around and have the state of the province address, like I said, you work for Irving. You got the firm handshake. How are you going to stop doing that? You're going to start going like, hey, how you doing? How you doing?
We all have,
hey, how you doing, James? Or hey, Art, how things? Or you, Charles.
Charles is happening.
Hey, Charles, shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how are you going to do that now?
Well, you do it all those ways you've just described.
Have you been shaking hands?
No. I have not. You tried to trick me this morning.
I tried.
Yeah. You'd have pulled back on me if I'd have accepted, wouldn't you?
Okay. You tell me what is never going to be the same again after this is over.
What cannot be the same again is to not lose. I guess we can't lose sight of what we've learned through this. We can't lose sight of how quickly we were able to respond to a major crisis.
We learn if we have a broken toe, a broken little finger, we don't have to run at the emergency.
We've learned.
Okay, go ahead. I'll shut up.
We've learned that we can react quickly to a crisis. We can work as a team. Our health authorities across the province, Fatality and Horizon, work very closely during this whole event, which needs to continue. That we work closely to provide a service to all citizens. We have learned that. To your point, our ER room usage, but that's a mixed thing because people were probably afraid. They didn't go when maybe they should have, right? We don't know that because they were afraid to go. So we don't want people afraid to go to the hospital. But we've learned through the departments in the government. We've actually worked closely from one department to another. In other words, it didn't take us months to get a decision because it was in another department. It took us days or hours. And that was hugely different than any time in the past. So we've actually learned what a valuable civil service, when allowed to do their job and allowed to be innovative, how much they can actually
accomplish. Is going to do more work from home?
Oh, I would guess that this will lead to that because it's for me. I mean, I'm doing now all of my
you is going and FaceTime. Do you like it better FaceTime than going? Oh, sorry. No, there's nothing there. No, it's all black. Do you like it better FaceTime, or maybe what you? Hey, never mind. Hold it. Never mind her some advice. Why don't you turn around and stay in your office Wait, okay. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Why don't you come sit
I am
here?
doing it in my office.
Outside the picnic table and do
With
your
Steve?
FaceTime with Steve Murphy or do FaceTime.
Well, what's the difference? I'm
outside?
in my office. I'm all set up. I know
It's the
Wi-Fi.
color. It's
I
the
need
color.
to be.
It's the color.
Well, it is
behind.
nicer out here. That's true.
You know what I mean? I'm talking too much again. Sorry, but no, the FaceTime you changed. Now you're gonna do.
Oh yeah, we do
interviews.
all that now. The calls every week. We didn't go to the Canadian meetings with all premiers. We haven't done any of that except every Thursday night we've been on Zoom doing that. All the meetings I've had have been on Zoom. I mean, there could be 1 or 2 people in a meeting that we do this.
You like it better?
Or interpreting meeting. Yeah, there's parts that I do like better.
Because you can see the person, right?
Well, yes, you can see the person, but there is an element at the end of the day where, in order to get to know the person, you have a good discussion,
just like me
face
and
to
you.
face. You see the
Me
reaction.
and
That's,
you.
well, I know you well
We
enough
got to
now.
know
See,
Russian enough.
I wasn't
You still
expecting
say,
anything
you
different.
still, when you see me, you still say shit. But anyway, that's okay. Listen.
I said to Nicole before we came, I said, "Do we really have to do this?"
Yeah, I know.
She said, yes, we do.
Oh, yeah,
We
yes,
committed
yes,
to
all
do
right.
it.
Let him talk, and then we have go. We're almost done. Okay. You know, one thing that we agree, me and you, we agreed. Never mind praising you, that you will never, never, never speak the Francais in front of me. We agree on
Well,
that.
probably.
No, I don't want to hear you sing, and I don't want to hear you speak Francais. Okay, we know that, right?
Well, you're saying that. I think I did quite well.
No, you didn't.
In
No, never mind. You and
in
David.
my speeches in speaking French. I'm not comfortable, and yes, you're right. We probably won't be able to do an interview.
No, you and David Alward, no. Okay. Why did Radio Canada and l'Acadie Nouvelle brought up this French issue during the news conference? What happened?
You'll
there?
have to ask them.
I was up north. What happened?
The only thing it started with a reporter from Quebec at the time. We had issues.
Reporter from Quebec. Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
And they asked the question in French, and I couldn't understand it, and we didn't have the interpretation set up, so we did after that, which was the right thing to do. So we got that set up, and it's been fine ever since.
I can't speak. I can't understand Quebec French. How can you expect to understand Quebec French?
Well, that's why I have an interpreter that can help me with, regardless of how they speak.
To bring the issue up of language during a crisis, I thought that was disgusting. I think that I didn't like that at all.
Well, you know, Michelle and Mathieu have been very good through all of this, and very good with me as we chat back and forth very openly on issues. So.
Okay. The Irving tax relief, Robert Jones. Remember him? CBC?
Oh yeah, no, I remember him.
They
Yeah.
did the story on the tax relief, the Irving
On the
got.
building?
Yeah. We got a view on that. Is that fair? Is that, you're going to look into that?
Well,
or?
I guess it's, you know, it isn't anything that I get involved with as such, but as it's not unusual to see the capital costs of a facility, because that's a kind of depends what the company wants to build and how much they put into it, and then the assessment's done of could you ever sell it for what you put in it, because assessments are based on the market saleability. So that's the same with your home. I mean, you could invest all kind of money in your home, and then because of where it is in the neighborhood, it'd say, well, you will never get the money out of that
So
home.
there's no favoritism?
No, I
no?
don't see anything there at all, and certainly nothing I would get involved with.
When are we going to have a municipal election?
Well, we have to do it before the next spring.
Oh,
Some
come on.
mayors-
You mean we have to listen to that idiot mayor? No, I'm sorry, we got to listen to that mayor.
We'll have to.
Come on.
We'll work-
Did Nova Scotia have it in October?
Well, we have a possibility in October as well.
Please,
but
please,
we will
can we get an
have,
election?
we will have discussions with the municipalities on that, and also how they might be conducted differently. Because right today, you know, to have a municipal election and ask people to go door to door looking for, that would not be kosher.
No, that's what say the government.
So is that something that can be done differently? Is there a new method that they might suggest? So we'll talk to municipalities about that.
Justice system, camera from jail cell, don't have to travel that.